I would love for this to get a sticker. That'd be really, really, really fun. So maybe this one makes the grade? I don't know. Let's see. Is it CAC worthy? That is always the question. And the answer on this one, we got about 61 coins that have come back from CAC. Mostly our coins from Rarity 7. Really excited about the group. I will show some pre-roll video of everything, and then we'll just dive right in. So this first box of coins is all Rattlers, which we all love. Everyone loves Rattlers, so that's kind of fun. All right, let's get started. First, right out of the gate, is an 1883 seeded half in a Rattler AU55. Super original looking coin. A little darker than you want to see. It's got a little bit of a, almost like a sort of glossy environmental look to it. So I'm not 100% sure that this is a necessary winner, but I like the coin and I wanted to send it. And you kind of have to send coins in Rattlers just for the heck of it, because you never know what you're gonna uncover. So let's get it started. First out of the gate, an 1883 seeded half. Now, by the way, there are some of these submissions that John did or did not give us feedback on, so we will find out. This either is going to have a sticker or no feedback. The first coin out of the gate has no sticker and no feedback. So unfortunately, we did not get feedback on this little submission, but that's okay. If I had to guess on this one coin, if I'm looking at it, I would say that it's got a little bit of environmental issues, probably. I think that's what's going to keep this one out of the CAC grade. I've gotten a bunch of AU seeded coinage that has looked really, really good. And this one just has a little bit of a something on it that I think is going to prevent it. So a no for the first coin out of the pile, unfortunately. Here's an 86 with too much luster. AU50 in a Rattler. This coin, again, I sent it. It's a beautiful AU seeded half. It's too bright in my opinion. I think this coin for me would not be the kind of original crusty surfaces that you want to see on these coins. So I'm going to vote no on it just because I don't think it's got that original look that you want to see. But again, it's a Rattler seeded half, so we got to try. So we'll take a look at our second coin out of the gate. I'm going to predict a no sticker on this one. I just don't think it's got the right look to it for it. We'll flip this one over and we will see no. So this one, again, I don't think this takes a super degree to figure out. It's just a little too bright. It's a nice coin. It's got, it's an AU, an 1886, well preserved nice coin. It's just got a little bit of that friction line. It was dipped or it's got an old cleaning. And I think that would keep this one out of the CAC holder. So that one is going to be our second no of the night. Let's look at the first walker. Actually, you know what? Before I even show you the good walkers, I'm actually going to show you some of the bad walkers because I made an effort to filter out the coins that had, I think, obvious PVC. So this was a full short set, and you can see when you tilt the coin, this is one of the lessons about these, when you tilt the coin at an off angle, you can see, well, first off, this coin just has a little bit of environmental staining on the obverse there. There's some environmental staining here. So this coin has not what we'd call a happy haze. This is probably an unhappy haze on that one. So I didn't bother sending that one. We'll look at the 41S. Similarly, when you tilt it at an off angle, you can see it's just got sort of this filmy look to it. It's got staining that you don't want to see on these coins. The 46 has a very similar look to it. When you tilt it at an off angle, you can see where it just has PVC damage. That's a little bit of green there, and it's got a little fingerprint, and it's just got that little bit of stainy. That's what you see in some of these old Rattlers that make it not what you want to see. Again, you can see this one's got big kind of stains all over there. That's sort of classic PVC damage right there, reverse too. So cool coins in a Rattler, but we did not bother sending those in because I think those were kind of no grades from a PVC. So here are the ones that we did send in. A 41 in gem. A very nice coin, and as you can see as I twirl it, there's actually a little circular mark in the center. That is on the holder, not on the coin. There's a little bit of a stain or a mark or something on the holder, but otherwise the coin itself, absolutely beautiful. No problems, no issues, no major PVC. Now, John's eye for PVC, better than my eye for PVC. So it's very possible that on some of these coins, even though I tried to filter them as best I can for PVC, he may still not like it for PVC. So let's take a look at the 41, the first coin out of the gate. and that is CAC worthy in a gem with a CAC sticker. So these are not hugely valuable. The kind of winners on these would be if we got any gold CACs. I think that would really, really help the value on these. But nonetheless, you know, when I'm going to be selling the whole set, I'll try to replace some of the coins that have the PVC, and then we'll keep the ones that did. Next is a 42S in 64. Again, another very flashy coin, very good look. Not a whole lot of issues, and a coin that we'd like to see. Probably I'd love to see some of these with gold beans on them because I think they're really flashy. But at the very least, I want to hope to get some green beans on these. So no PVC issues on the 42S. Let's take a look at the 42S. Pull that one out, and that one got a green bean. So did not earn a gold sticker, but certainly makes the grade for a 64 with a CAC sticker. So so far, I'm agreeing with my, John agrees with my choices of filtration, which makes me happy. 43 in gem, similar look to the other two. No PVC issues on the coin, no major marks or distractions. Gold worthy, I don't know. Is it bean worthy? I would hope so. You know, the interesting thing about a lot of these walkers is that green beans, you know, spending $20 each to get green beans, and these are pretty common walkers in gem, doesn't really change the value too much if they sticker, but that's okay. We're still going to try them. So let's try the next one. And this one is the first coin that did not pass, and he gave me a sticker. So the reason why he didn't like it is PVC. Despite my best efforts to avoid PVC, I guess I failed on this one. And I don't really see it, but he called it. So I guess the first couples, I guess the first couple were just so bad he didn't even bother commenting on them, and then he gave me a little PVC mark on this one. This one is not nearly as bad as some of the other ones. I actually don't really see a lot of PVC on this one. So, but he says PVC, so no bueno on that one. Let's look at the 44 in gem. A little bit of staining next to the leaves, flowers above her shoulder. I would call that toning more than staining. I don't think that's a huge problem, but maybe John doesn't like that as sort of an environmental look. I don't know. You know, I sent all these because I think they have a really good shot. So I like that one, and I think that one has a shot. So we'll take a look at the next one out of the gate in our Rattler party, and he did not like it, and he's going to probably call that stain on the obverse, and he says PVC. Interesting. So another one that I missed the PVC, and again, there's a little stain, but I did not see a lot of unhappy PVC, you know, and there's that line between happy haze and unhappy haze. And I guess I see it on the reverse, but it's not bad enough that it would bother me. Next is a 45 in 64. This is the one with the circular mark. Maybe a couple of these had circular marks on the slab. Yeah, I tried to zoom in to show. I didn't want to put like an obnoxious arrow, but a couple of these slabs, I guess they had old stickers on them, or they were stored improperly. I don't know. It's a bummer because you can't rehold a Rattler. So it's it. Beautiful looking one. I like this one. Again, like the other ones, I think it's got a super nice look to it, and I would hope that this one would earn a sticker. The next one out of the gate is, we've entered the PVC zone. We've entered, it's like the Twilight Zone, but it's much worse, PVC zone. Wow. And I would think, well, now that this one, you can see there's a little bit of a fingerprint there. So maybe that one. And this is a 64, you know, we're being, look, CAC should be tough on these. I get it. But I'm also, I don't know. The fingerprint doesn't necessarily bother me. Okay, 45D in 65, another one that, you know, all these coins are going to have some level of storage issues depending on where they were stored. But one would hope that these are going to make the grade. So we'll see. We may have entered the PVC zone. He may have decided that the first two set the standards and the rest are going to be all PVC. So we'll take a look at that one. The next one on this one is a no comment. So maybe we made it this one, or we just completely failed because we don't know what we're doing. And this one just completely failed because we don't know what we're doing. I don't know, man. I think this one looks okay to me. I think all of these look fine for gem, but apparently the answer is they do not. Here's the 45S in 64, another beautiful one. I think that's very flashy. If there was any of them that I would hope would get a gold, this was the one that I think had that kind of va-va-voom on it. But you know, these S-mints, a little bit of weak strikes on them, so you are going to see some weakness, and you can see that weakness down the middle on the coin. Now, it's a 64. If the strike were a little stronger, this one would probably be, especially for an S-mint, this one would be a lock. But I think probably not going to go gold on that one. one and may have PVC. We'll see very, very flashy coin, lots of luster, little bit of weakness, and this one is green worthy, not gold worthy. So good for a 64, typical S mint. So one thing to know, walkers, mid 40s walkers, S mints, very, very weakly struck. They get extremely valuable. The typical one is the 41S. You'll see them in a lot of them in 6+, getting to 67. Big jump on a lot of these. So a lot of these is going to be very, very, very tough to get in gem. Well struck. Okay, so we did get a green bean on that one. Next is a 46D in gem, also a little hazy, but I thought this was a nice crust. I thought it gave it a nice crust to it. And this is the thing that we're all learning is where's the line between a nice crust that gives it that air of originality and PVC damage. And in fact, it may be the case that walkers in Rattlers are more sensitive to PVC, and John might be less inclined to do that just because there are so many of them and there are so many with PVC, the standards are going to be a little bit of different. So let's take a look at this next one, and this one was green bean worthy. So this is an example of a good crust that's not improper storage or PVC damage. This has beautiful underlying luster and a nice original surface. So this good surface, good haze versus the bad haze that you're going to see on other stuff. So this one is very, very pretty. I like that. And the next one we're going to do after this is a 46S in gem. A nice looking coin. Again, a little bit of unstruck planchet, a little bit of weakness around the center, but otherwise a very flashy looking coin. Looking nice. Not signs of PVC or any damage on there. Like the look of the coin. So we'll take a look at that 46S. And we jump into the 46S with nice flash. Look how flashy that is. And that one, also a green bean. So we're moving up some green beans on this set, which is really nice. I would love to get some golds. That would have made me exceedingly happy. But listen, I'll take what we can get on these. You know, can't win them all. At 47 in 64. Beautiful. Again, this has the crust that I like. I think this has the good kind of crust. I don't see PVC damage. I see a nice silky, satiny, it's almost like talking about a fine wine on these, a silky, satiny haze on them that I believe gives it a very, very appealing look without hurting the coin. So we'll take a look on how we did that. No gold bean on it. No comment, green bean. So nice 47. You can see when you tilt this in the light, you can see that it's got that peripheral look to it. Very, very, very nice look to it. So, and the 47D, which is our last walker in this set, it's a little hazy. This was one I was sort of on the line. You know, it's got that dirt. It's almost got that like dirty look to it. And now I'm learning that dirty look to it, I think, is not good as opposed to that nice circular good look to it. So I'm going to say this is probably going to be a PVC called coin. And now this is helpful because it's helping tune the good versus the bad. Of course, we may get a sticker on it, in which case I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So water stains, Kurt says. And the answer on this one is no good because of the water stains. So yeah, that's the staining that you're going to kind of see on this one. Not PVC damage per se, but not the kind of look that you want to see in the original. Great. All right, one last Rattler, a little bonus Rattler in this set. Oh, Morgan dollar. Nice looking coin, not a terribly expensive coin. A little bit of fingerprints on the back. Nice look to it. Nice clean cheek. Overall, a very, very pleasing looking coin. And pulling this one out, did not get a gold sticker, unfortunately, sorry, but did get a green sticker. I could have predicted that one because that one was sort of a layup. There's no issues on the coin, and it's really nice. Green, not gold. So thus is our group of Rattlers. All right, so we're done with the first little group. Now let's move into some other coins. 1793 Wreath cent. This was a fun one. AG3, it's got a few little ticks on it, but wow, look at the amount of detail on this coin for an AG. You would expect coins like this to be almost completely evaporated. You get the full wreath on the reverse, you get a full outline of the portrait on the obverse. I really, really, really like the look of this coin. So let's take a look and see what we have to see on this one. I would love for this to get a sticker. That'd be really, really, really fun. But, and this one is not sticker worthy. He did not like it. That's a bummer. So if we're going to complain about this coin, what are we going to complain about? What are we going to say that's not good on that one? I think it looks really, really, really nice. I would have to say if there's anything, it's going to be maybe as I tilt in the light here, you can kind of see there are some pretty big planchet nicks on it, but I mean, man, we're really reaching on this one. Overall, I think this has a lot of meat and a really, really, really good look for an old coin. So I guess not quite good enough, but regardless, very, very happy to have this coin in our group. I think it's a terrific looking coin and remarkably affordable for a coin from 1793. 1798, look at this coin, VF35. Look at that. Look at that halo effect of original color on that. I am in love with this coin. I don't know whether this, I will tell you guys right off the bat, I'm not a copper expert. There's probably my weakest area is learning about copper. So I can't tell whether something is clean, stained, problem. It's hard for me. I think from a pure eye appeal standpoint, this coin looks like it has original mint red under there. It's kind of got this original golden, beautiful, beautiful look to it. What I will look to, and I think part of our education here and why we do this is this an underlying issue? Is there an issue with this coin that would hold it from getting a sticker on a real technical level? But certainly from an eye appeal view, just a stunner of a coin, and an OGH to boot. So really like it, hoping for the best on it. And the answer, and by the way, if there isn't a sticker on it, I might guess that there's either some underlying issue relating to that obverse or perhaps a little bit of the unevenness on the reverse. So I really do like it, but we'll see. And the answer on this one is CAC worthy. There we go. So the short answer is John likes this one. This is a very good look on a coin like this. Nice 1798 OGH VF35. Nice glow to the coin and a green bean on an OGH coin. So that is a very nice win. Okay, after that, we have another OGH, an 1870 Indian cent in 64 red brown. Very flashy, nice looking coin, a nice original luster, very much on the red end of red brown. I don't see a lot of problems with this. I'm looking at this in the video. It's got a gorgeous look to it. Be sort of golden reverse, golden obverse. This is what we would call a toned red instead of a really red-brown kind of coin. So, and certainly looks, grade-wise. I'm a vote yes on that one. I think it's a good look to it. And if not, we'll have to inspect it. And the answer on this one is a green bean on that. A beautiful look to it on an 1870 in 4 red-brown. So that's a real nice one. Good one. And now we go to NGC. Look at that. Look at that 04. Not a hugely expensive coin. Once you get into the post-1900 era on Indian head cents, the values are much more approachable than some of the 70s dates. But wow, flashy, real red, no arguments that coin. I like it. I would call this one a kind of textbook gem. You look at this coin and you say, that is a red gem. I think it's a beautiful looking coin. I sent it for that reason, despite it being in an NGC holder, even though we don't love NGC. And John definitely has a bias against NGC. No, I can't say that. He doesn't have a bias against NGC. We all have a bias against NGC. A lot of overgraded tried coins. But on this coin, is it a gem red? It is not a gem red. Interesting. He did not like it. So it's definitely red. I don't think there's any argument on this one. I think if we are going to argue on this coin, it's probably not a technical 65. I'm super surprised, frankly. But I guess if we dig into it, we're going to find some things that make it not a gem. Maybe it was processed. Maybe it was dipped. Maybe there was something going on it. But certainly from at least arm's length view and at least a close-up view, I don't see a lot of issues. There might be friction on the coin. Maybe that's the issue. We always want to look for, as we're starting to learn, what are the things you look for? You look for friction. You look for rub on the high points. You look for weak strike. But I certainly don't have any issues with that coin. So not a problem. Okay, next is a 09 SVDB, 3 brown with a lot of red under there. It's a little muted, definitely a little muted, but it's a 3, and that's okay. There's a lot of color under there for a brown. I've seen browns that look far worse than that. So I think that is a properly graded coin. I like it. I don't have any issues with it. And the result on this one is no sticker on this one. He did not like this for a 3 brown. Interesting. Surprising on that one, frankly. I find no complaints with this coin as a 3 brown. Maybe a little muted. I mean, maybe if we really want to argue, we could say it's a 2. It'd need a little bit more pop. But I guess I have to break my SVDB streak. If I had to guess, venturing a guess on this one, I would say this coin needs a little bit more oomph for a 3. I think it's probably a super nice 62, and it's just a little muted for a 3. So that's why we're not gonna get there with a 3. 31S in 66. Beautiful. Look at that flashy look to it. Little flash, little mark on the right obverse. Doesn't look like an actual mark. Might be just kind of staining. It's got some luster, little bit of flatness on the top of the leg, but it's a 6, not a 7. It has the luster. If there's anything, we might complain about the strike, but 31S's, again, S mints are a little bit, so we will see on the 31S. I don't really have a guess on this one. Probably going to lean no, but actually, I don't know. 31S, let's look. Answer is no go on the 31S. So I think probably if I had to guess on this one, a little bit of weakness on the strike. You'd want to see a little bit more oomph on the strike on this one to make it to a real full 66, full gem plus. So another 31S, this one in 6 plus. Better struck? I can't really tell actually. It's a little bit hard to tell on these. I like this better. It's got more pop to it. It's definitely got a little bit more flash than the last one. So I think if luster is the issue, then this one has more luster than the previous one. Does it have enough strike? Does it have enough oomph? I don't know. In 6 plus, does this make the grade? This does also not make the grade, so not enough for us to be there on the 6 plus. So this one we'll have to look at a little bit more closely. No feedback on this one, unfortunately, but I would assume that you'd want to see a slightly bolder strike on this one. Better luster, not enough strike depth. You'd want to see a little bit more sharpness. You can see that there's just a little bit of flatness around the ear, and there's around the braid of the hair right there, and there's a little bit of flatness on the high point of the buffalo's arm. And I think for 6s, you'd want to see a little bit more of a strong strike on that one. So, all right, look at this, 1805 quarter in good 4. Let's get our drape bust stuff going here. Let's get our drape bust going. We love our drape bust coins. I like this coin. Beautiful looking coin, nice even surfaces, a nice circulated cameo. It's a good, little on the brighter side, doesn't scream clean to me, has a nice look to it. And the answer on this drape bust quarter, A, green bean. So that sets a nice tone. Listen, I'm always happy to get CAC stickered drape bust coins. Eli, I know you're going to immediately ask me for a price. $1 million is my price for you on that coin. And here's a 1917 Standing Liberty quarter, gem. Type 1, 65 full head. These all come with insanely perfect heads. It's probably rarer to find a 1917 Type 1 without a full head than it is to find one with a full head. Does it make the grade for gem? That's an excellent question. We will find that out. I certainly like the look of it, but we'll give it a shot. And the answer is no good on this one. So if we have to look on this one, you can kind of tell it's just the luster is there, but it just feels as you spin it in the light, it's just a little muted. And I think you'd want to see a little bit more oomph. When you turn it off, you can also see a little bit of discoloration there. The coin might have been dipped or had a light old cleaning. Otherwise, I don't see any rub. It's just a little muted. It's a coin that I think would have no problem in a sort of 64 plus look to it, but doesn't quite have what we need to do a 65. So here's a 1918 in 6 plus. Look at that, very close to full head. Beautiful look to it. It's got a nice pop to it. Good original luster. That is so close to a full head. It's just missing the portrait line is there. I think the ear is there. It's just missing the sprigs a little bit. And I think the coin jumps up hugely in full head, but nice original texture on the back, but super, super nice and very, very, very close to full head on that 1918. So I'm still learning my standing libs. It's a beautiful look on it. Again, perhaps a little bit muted on this one. And so we would wonder how we think on this one. And this one, he is also a no-go on a 6 plus. And again, I think the grade, it's close to a full head. I think it has a little bit of that look of the previous one, that maybe this is just a 5 and not quite a 6 plus. So here's another drape bust half, 1805, original look, VF30, nice original wear, doesn't have a lot of issues on it, no brightness, doesn't have that like perfect Cirque cam look that we want, but it does have a nice smooth pewter look to it, very much the kind of look that I like on these kind of coins. So definitely worthy of sending. Doesn't have that like knock you on the floor, perfect CAC look to it, but certainly has a beautiful look to it. So that one I'm on the fence on this one. Definitely on the fence on this one. You guys want to make some gets on this one? I think a couple of people are guessing no. I don't have any, this doesn't scream problems. Like, this is absolutely a gradable coin. The question is, it doesn't have that like super original look that quarter that we have. So I'm going to guess no, and would be very happy to get a sticker, but no, just doesn't quite have the look that we want on this one. And this is one where, no real reason for a no, just, doesn't quite make the grade. Here's an 1809 half in AU55. What a great amount of skin on that one. Beautiful look to it. Doesn't have it has a very original look to it. Doesn't have that dipped out look. It's got just a little layer of crust on it, and I think it has an incredibly pleasing look to it. So an 1809 in an OGH in AU55, and I do very much like the coin, and I think it's a real pretty one. And did John like it? He did not like it. Sorry, Nick. Bad sub, and he didn't like our coins and didn't even comment. So that's just no good on this one. Sorry about that. We'll keep going for more. Here's an 1813 XF45. Overton 105. Again, no complaints on that one, but we're being tough on this one. I'm gonna probably guess no because the survey says on this recent submission that we're leaning no on these, but let's hope we can salvage a little bit. Hope we can salvage. And the answer on this one, CAC worthy, 1813 XF45, beautiful with a sticker now. Nice one, good. And you help my record on this one. So tough luster, tough on the 1809, but beautiful on that XF45. Great one, banger of a coin. Okay, this is an 1818/17 large 8 VF25. I don't remember whether this is mine or not, but wow, look at that look to it. Look at that color transition. Look at the overdate. Look how pronounced that overdate is. Look at the overall surfaces for a coin of this age and this look. Boy, this has a nice look to it. I am not complaining. I'm not kicking this coin out of the room. I would absolutely own this coin any day of the week. And I find that one incredibly appealing. And I don't remember whose coin it is, but I hope it got a sticker because it certainly is sticker worthy. And it's beautiful and not sticker worthy. Wow, interesting. And we're not getting a good win on this one. This one, I can't tell you. Old cleaning, surfaces, doesn't have that, not in the mood. Who knows? But certainly a beautiful one. All right, let's try an 1831 in AU50. Nice muted original look to it. This has that CAC look. I'm going to vote yes on this one. It's just got that look. It's just got a little underlying luster, no surface disturbances. Just kind of has that look. I feel it. I feel this one. Vote. This one. Answer. Sticker worthy. I knew it. Knew it had a feel to it. I don't know whose coin this is. I hope it's mine. It's probably Nick's because Nick gets all the good ones. But wow, that's just like, I'm starting to get a feel for it. You just kind of look at this coin and it says, yeah, this is a CAC coin. It's just got that original silky look to it, a little bit of underlying luster, and a beautiful look to it. And that's it. So, I'm not disagreeing. The standards are high, and the standards should be high because we want these coins to get a premium in the marketplace. So, absolutely beautiful coin. 1843 XF40, very strong coin for an XF40. Does it have full liberty? Absolutely has full liberty. No questions asked on the full liberty on this coin, so he's not going to give me a no full liberty. Original surfaces, old cleaning, I don't know. Do we see it? Are they there? Is there a problem? Who knows, but it's certainly an eye-appealing looking coin, and as a collector, I would happily put that coin in my collection. First seeded half of this box, CAC sticker, XF40 on the 1843. Beautiful. Original look. Kind of what we're going for here. We like it. That's what we want. Okay. Here's an 1845-0. That one has a little rim bump. I'm not going to complain about that. Also XF45. Also full liberty. Also nice original look to it. Almost traces of luster. So a beautiful looking coin. I like this one as well. Similar look to it. No problems, no issues. Not something that would prevent me from sending it. And I would be honored to, if I were in charge of putting stickers on that coin, I would certainly put a sticker on this coin. It is a beautiful coin. Did John agree? John did not agree. I don't know why he didn't agree. Maybe I just don't know why. Detail level. Let's take a look. It's there. Looks pretty. Lots of detail. Maybe a little weaker. Yeah, maybe it's that's a 45. Yeah, maybe it's a 40. Maybe it's just got a little bit of weakness, but overall, I do like it. I do like this 40. I like more than the 45. So I think this is a 40. That's the problem. I think this is like a nice 40 that didn't quite make it to a 45. Surface-wise, it's all there, but it's not quite there what we want to do on that one. All right, 61S, tough date, S-Mint, one of the better S-Mints in a VF30. Do we have full liberty? We do, although that E is a little weak. He may complain in a VF30 that the ER is a little bit of weakness on it. Otherwise, not Original surfaces, not a problem on that. Not a cleaned coin. Few little ticks here and there. Tough date. I would be pleasantly surprised to see this one with a sticker. Probably a no, and the answer to this one is no sticker. And I think if you had to guess on this one, actually, Liberty is not strong enough. That E and that R, it's there, but it's too weak. And John is a stickler, especially in the VF grades. We need to see a full Liberty. So this one is a lesson that we would need to see a full Liberty, bold, or at least all the letters there to make that one. Next, 43S and 7. Big, as we were talking about those S-Mint Walkers, tough when you get up in these lofty grades. It's got original skin, it's got luster, it's got flash, but man, they are going to be tough on these coins in high grade. So I'm probably going to vote no, just because the standards to get there in a 7 is tough. Certainly would love it. Beautiful coin. We'd love to get a sticker on this one. It's a monster of a coin for sure, but probably safe to assume no on that one. So let's take a look how we did on the 43S in 7. No sticker on that one. Just needs to be a monster to get a 7. These coins are so tough, and I think the CAC premium on 7s on these are just absolutely massive. So this one is just, there's nothing wrong with the coin. It just needs to be absolutely knocking it out of the park to hit a CAC 67, and I think that standard is okay. Let's move into my favorite series, the Draped Bust. Let's start with a beautiful 1798 Draped Bust dollar. Fine 12, lot of meat. Note, big cut on the bottom. That is part of the Overton. That is not a rim ding. It's a little bright because it's a raised part of the coin, because that's how it worked, but it's not clean. Same with the die break on the right side, where you can see huge die crack. This is all part of that. This die was falling apart. They were hammering out these coins and getting them made, and the 1798 mint was just ready to crank them out. So otherwise, a delightful coin, and I very, very much like the look of it. Is it CAC worthy? That is always the question. And the answer on this one is no sticker on this one. A little bit of schmutz on the coin. They got it dirty, and probably just maybe needs a little bit more meat for a fine 12. Or he didn't like the cut on the back, or whatever reason. They're going to be super tough on Draped Bust. I don't care. I love the coin. I'm super, super happy with it. And this will obviously be a very, very popular coin, and be pleased to own that, even though if it's not a CAC-worthy kind of coin. Let's move on to some more Draped Bust stuff, starting with an 1800 in VF35. Look at that. Nice look on that coin. Beautiful. Almost you could see some, again, this underlying old luster. I don't see cleaning on the coin. I see a coin that saw its life. So we'll take a look at that 1800 Draped Bust dollar. And you can never go wrong guessing no on Draped Bust dollars. How do we do on the 1800 Draped Bust dollar? The answer on this one, oh, look at that. That's a huge win. That's nice. There we go. VF35 CAC on the 1800. Just superb. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Now, by the way, just putting these two coins together just so we can kind of get a sense here. Both incredibly eye-appealing coins. There's no issue on either one of these that would prevent a good collector. I'm trying not to buy coins that are lacking an eye appeal in any way, shape, or form. This one is now a superb coin, CAC one, and I think that one is amazing. 1803. This coin I was a no on. It's another Draped Bust dollar. I think I just sent it. I had to include it in the sub. I'm an NGC no, and I'm a real no. I think it's just, again, a pleasing looking coin. This will go into collection, and someone will love this coin. I would not call this one CAC sticker worthy, and I was almost going to not send this coin. Watch, by the way, it'll sticker now, and I'll eat my words on this one. I was almost not going to send it, but I think I learned, you basically just take shots sometimes, and I'm paying money for this, so John doesn't care. And we're paying for a service here. But sometimes you just got to take shots on these kind of coins. And I think there's a low chance, but was it worth, $20 or $30 or whatever it was to do it? And watch, now that I know, it's going to probably sticker, but probably not, because I think we know what we're doing. And the answer is no sticker on this one. So just not quite what you want to see on a coin like this. It's a very pleasing coin. A collector will buy this coin. It will go into a collection. I will not price this at an insane CAC level that some of these CAC coins get priced at, and it's what you got. Sometimes you get coins that are going to be your PQ stuff, and sometimes you get coins that are just Q. That's a Q. That's a quality, nice Draped Bust dollar. Now look at this, 1842 Seated Liberty dollar. Beautiful coin. By the way, I thought this coin was a pretty solid XF. This coin feels XF to me. So I would want to see this coin stickered as a VF. I think it does not have a lot of issues. Little bit of wear on the reverse, but does look pretty solid 40. I mean, I thought 40 shot 45. And again, let's just compare. We were talking about that 61S half with Full Liberty. You can see complete every letter on this VF35, completely bold and full. So I feel like this coin has the look that you'd want to see and shouldn't have any issues. And the answer, I'm going to have to move our no pile over a little bit and our yes pile. And the answer on this VF35 seated dollar is a sticker, and it's a beautiful coin. So made up for the fact that I didn't get the grade I wanted by getting a really nice sticker on it. And I think, again, you can take a look at this. Full Liberty, no questions whatsoever. Every single letter boldly struck. Arguably, this coin could, in a world, could be in a 40 or 45 holder. I will keep it in its 35 holder. Next, trade dollar, 1877 AU53. Very original look to it. Nice skin on this coin. Cannot complain about that coin. Nice look on the reverse, nice look on the obverse, little bit of wear, touch of wear, AU53, not trying to be more than that, but better than an XF, not quite an AU55. So I would vote yes on the incredibly rare trade dollar in AU53. Answer on this one, no sticker on this one. If I had to guess, okay, well, I vote yes, I liked it. So switching hats, take off our yes hat and put on our no hat. What don't we like about the coin? Wear. If I have to really, really get into it, I think there's wear. If you look at her head, I would say that this coin has a little bit too much wear to be an AU53. I could probably see that. I don't see a cleaning on it. I don't see many surface issues. I see probably more wear than I'd want to see on this. So this is probably an AU50 or a really nice XF45 in the CAC world. I could actually look at this coin and see this in an XF45 CAC holder doing really well. So a little bit too much is going to be my guess on that one. Maybe an AU50, and Nick says 50 is my grade. So I think I'm with you on that one. I think I'm with you. All right, let's do some Morgan dollars. Let's do some Morgan dollars. This is, what's next? 84cc in 6. MS66. It's got a little bit of that sort of water spots, dirty stuff on it, but that doesn't bother me. I think that happens on a lot of these coins. It doesn't bother me, and the cheek is super clean. This is not a super expensive coin. It's a really common date, but I just liked it. I think it had that sort of original look to it, so I was okay with that coin in a MS66 holder. Was John? No, he was not okay with it in a 66 holder. So why not? If we're going to have to put our hat on of why we didn't like this coin, I think the cheek is fine for a 6. I think maybe this haze or whatever's going on here is a little too dirty. And you want to see this in like a nice gem, and you'd want to see your 6s a little bit flashier and without that haze. So no go on that one. So sometimes you got to take off the I love this coin hat and put on the why I don't love this coin hat. And now we will look at an 87 in 67. And this is again, similar kind of a little bit of dirt on it, but otherwise, I don't know, very nice looking coin. Not a lot of marks on that coin, but it has a little bit of that dirty look to it. And maybe you want to see less of that on a 67. And the answer on this one, womp womp, big red sticker. I don't know, you just put a big red sticker. Maybe this is like their don't you dare sticker this coin red sticker that his pre-guys send to John. And yeah, no. So we got a little bit of inside baseball on this one. This was the John has some guys I believe who work with him here at the stickering office, and they just kind of pre-screen coins, and this probably got a no bueno look to it. So what do we see on this one? Do we see any? I mean, look at that nice clean cheek. I actually don't think the hits are bothersome for a 67. It's got a little bit. I think if there's anything that's going to bother us on this in a 67, again, it's got a little bit of that dirtiness, and you'd want to see a little bit more punch. But our last box of the night. And this is another 87 in 67. So we'll take a look and see how we did on this one. No complaints about that coin. But similar look to the other one, so I'm going to kind of guess if the first one didn't make it, then maybe this one doesn't make it. But I don't know. It's got a very similar look. I think it probably came from the same submission and the same place. But again, not a lot of action going on the coin. No hits. A little bit of dirt spots, but nothing that bothers me that would prevent me from grading that one. So maybe this one makes the grade. I don't know. Let's see. This one does make it. So the first one did not make it in a 67. This one a little flashier and a little bit less of an issue. So this one does make the grade on a 67, and that is a nice little win on that one. A 98.0 in 67. This is like CAC crack. It's toned. It's not what collectors necessarily want. They don't want that. They want a nice original white blasty, but this, look, it's got little rainbow around the edges. Look at that rainbow color around the edges. It's got that original toning to it, a super clean cheek. This is like textbook CAC crack. And watch, you'll probably get no sticker on it, but I don't know. I would vote a strong yes on that one. I mean, it certainly has the look. And look at the flat. I mean, look at that like toning. I wouldn't call this a toner, but it really has a super nice look to it. So I'm going to vote yes on this one. And this is yes. This is a beautifully original, nicely toned 980 in 7 with a nice original skin on it and CAC crack, as we would like to say. 79. Here's a fun one. Let's look at this one. Here's a proof. This coin I was kind of surprised about. I bought this coin raw. Super fun coin, actually. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Bought it raw. Showed up at, I was at one of the PCGS members only events. I think this is a Vegas show. Guy came up with a whole bunch of coins. There's actually a bunch of them in this submission. And coin came out raw. And I was like, oh, impaired proof. I sent it into PCGS and came back at 2. I was very, very surprised to see that one come back proof 62. I thought this was going to be proof details. So look, do I think this is going to sticker? Probably not. But having said that, it's a proof 62. And the answer on this one, no CAC sticker. Yeah, I think you can see as you tilt the light, the lines change direction. So it's more than just like a wipe. It's got a pretty, harsh old cleaning on it. But again, it's a proof Morgan. And this is what happened, as you can see, as you tilt it, you can see how the lines go horizontal or go vertical there. And then when you go at this angle, you can see they're horizontal. So the coin was wiped. It's gradable. PCGS has a standards and they say it's a proof and it was wiped and this is what proofs happen. I think CAC appropriately has a standard that says, look, we don't want to see that on a proof 62. I'd rather see a more even haze or maybe some toning or some spotting or something like that. And I think that's okay. So totally acceptable. Had to take a shot, a $20 or $30 shot at the wall. So, and what do we have here? We have a 26D in 66. This is a very beautiful coin. Look at that. Crusty, nice, has a nice look to it, flashy. So I'm inclined to think that it will sticker. It does have a really, 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 really nice look to it. Flashy coin. These D-mint piece dollars are a little tough. And the 26D did cross and it's stickered. Monster coin in 66. This is definitely a tough one. And it's got a nice original crust to it, not a lot of problems, and a beautiful look to it. So crossed and stickered in a PCGS holder. So we have another piece dollar. We have a 34S in AU55. 34S in AU55. This is a fun coin. Man, you'll have to DM me or send me an email about this one. I'll tell you a story, or talk to me at ANA. I'll tell you a story about this coin. This is funny. If this stickers, it's going to be a great story. But it's a cool coin. It's a 34S, it's key date piece dollar. Not a hugely valuable coin, but I think it's probably got a little bit of an abrasion. No sticker on this one. Bummer. But really, really nice look to it. Unfortunately, I'm going to predict he's going to say too many abrasions, too many lines, or old cleaning. PVC, not what I was expecting him to say. Wow, that is fascinating. Should have submitted this coin raw. Should have gotten the PVC, a little bit of haze. Not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to hear PVC on this one. I was expecting too many abrasions on it. But still, a super nice coin. Maybe this is one, if someone wants to buy this as a project coin, you can crack it, get the PVC off, resubmit it to PCGS, and you can have a 34S with a CAC sticker on it. 1914D, MS63. 1914D, quarter lib. Quarter Indian, MS63, flashy, nice looking coin. Always safe to bet no on gold, but we got to give it a try. How do we do on this coin? Not CAC worthy, unfortunately. Bummer, but such is life. What are our reasons? I can't. Listen, I'm going to try to be an expert on a lot of things. Why Indian gold does not sticker is not something that I'm going to be an expert on. Clean, dip, processed, not flashy enough, too many marks. There's any number of reasons, but from a arm's length standpoint, beautiful coin, nice luster, flashy look to it on that one. So good coin, bummer. Such is life. Great provenance. That's right. Yeah. So yes. Oh, look at this one. Oh, this is a nice one. 50 Dahlonega gold. Who doesn't love themselves some Dahlonega gold? 54D, weak D. Listen, you can't all have the best Dahlonega gold in the world and have perfect, super strong Ds on our Dahlonega golds, but we will take a Dahlonega coin whether or not that D is super present or not. Otherwise, a beautiful looking coin for a VF25, and certainly a pleasing looking coin. Happy to have found this one, sent it to CAC, did this one, make the grade, Dahlonega gold, weak D, and the answer is sticker and a left sticker. So now this coin is worth $2 million because we have a left CAC sticker on our 1854D. Very original, like, nice looking coin. I mean, this is like superb. I do wish that, you know, a lot of collectors will complain that, you know, that the D mint mark is very weak, and a lot of folks want for their collection, if they're going to buy Dahlonega gold, that super strong D so you can see. But you know what? It's right there on the holder, and that right there is important. So very important. It's still a piece of Dahlonega gold, and it's now CAC stickered Dahlonega gold. Here's a Sesqui Centennial. These all look like this. This is what Sesquis look like. It's just kind of like the way they were stored, the way that they were shipped, the way they're given people, they all have that kind of dirty look. And whether you're looking at an MS64 or an MS66, it's kind of generally what I have found they all look like. So this is a gem. This is an MS65. Standards are not too high on commemoratives to make a CAC worthy. Did he like this one? No, he did not. We got a red sticker on this one. What is wrong with this Sesqui? The answer of this one, unhappy haze, PVC, too much. So like I said, this is what they all look like, but apparently this is just a little bit too much and not going to make the grade on that one. Okay, 1859 pattern $50, seated Liberty holding a fasces, am I going to get this right? Which is the same thing that is on the reverse of a Mercury dime with a really interesting reverse eagle holding a ribbon design. I mean, I love this design. What a cool coin, right? J235, seated Liberty half, but not the seated that we're normally used to seeing. Proof 62. Look, it's got some issues. This is a coin. This is so cool and interesting looking. Doesn't matter whether this coin has a sticker or not. The answer on the Proof 62 seated Liberty pattern, that is not sticker worthy because the surfaces are just a little funky. But man, what a cool looking coin, right? Who could say no to buying a pattern like that? Oh yeah, and also there's like more of the vertical hairline. So, you know, it's a pattern some guy had in their collection. They said, well, that's cool. Let's polish it up and clean it. And now we'll move into some big boy coins. Look at this. Look at this coin, 1806. This coin is going to light up the internet and my Instagram if this stickers. It is an 1806 quarter. I probably shouldn't even show this because it's so nice, because everyone's going to want to buy it if it stickers. Man, look at that coin, 1806. It is ridiculously nice. I love it. It's just got original luster and it's tough in this grade. AU58. Woo! I don't know, man. That would be a super hot win if we get this one. Kelso, you're going to lose your mind if this coin stickers. Ready for an 1806 Draped bust quarter with actually original luster on the reverse. Look at that. Look at that real original luster. Ready? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Boom. Look at that look on that coin. Look at the cartwheel luster on that. Original surfaces. That is a spectacular coin. Phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. You may call and purchase that coin for $11 billion. That is the price of that coin. $11 billion. Here's a 25S Standing Liberty quarter, MS67. Not full head. No problem. Nice looking coin. Tough coin in that grade. A little bit of color on the reverse. A little bit of, you know, toning. Happy haze, unhappy haze. I don't know. But it's certainly a tough coin. Big boy coin. Answer on this one. A red sticker indicating PVC. That's our guess. Obverse Ticks Nice 66. This is a great sticker that I will put on my laptop and keep this one forever. Nice 66. I love when I get compliments on coins that fail. Nice 66. Too bad it's in a 67 holder. Look at this. 1794 flowing hair $50. Good for. This one is a rarer Overton variety. This one has a lot of the design details are missing on the reverse, and it's a tougher Overton. This is actually what happened in the Overton 105, that you're missing a lot of design details. Now, I should point out, this is a 1794 $50, not a 1795. This is a big boy coin. or not, it's not $1, but it's bigger than a 1795 half, but certainly has a nice look to it. A little bit of weakness on the reverse as part of it, as made. Otherwise, super original. Bought this coin raw at the Pan show, got it slabbed, and this one has received, got a red sticker. What didn't he like about it? That's a little bit of a bummer. What didn't he like about the 94? Old cleaning. Wow. On a good 4. We have a tough crowd here, ladies and gentlemen. That's a tough one. Look at that. I mean, beautiful coin, tough, rare coin, but an old cleaning. And look, sure, it's a good 4 also. So yeah, also when you look in the light, actually, I take it back. Look in the light. Look in this angle. You see the hairlines? There's a little bit of hairlines on the obverse, a little bit of phase. Yep. Okay. Reluctantly must agree. Love the coin. Super cool. It's still 1794 half, but a little too much wiping. So under this light, I must reluctantly agree with Mr. Albanese. Here's a 33S Walker in 6. 33S. My favorite date for a Walking Liberty half. Only silver coin, I believe, other than one of the Commems, I think the Oregon, if I remember correctly. The only regular issue silver coin issued in 1933 was a 33S Walker. So I like them because it's just kind of like if you're collecting coins, and 1933 is a fun date because of the 33 double eagle. So this is your 1933 silver coin. So I love it. Demand super high on these. Really fun. MS66, is it a 66? That's a great question. Certainly a nice coin. And the answer is, it is not an MS66, or it's an MS66 with an issue. John's response: textbook 65. There we go. So it's a beautiful 65. It is not a 66. There's our answer on that one. Sorry. Textbook 65. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep up the fun. What's next? Look at that 1795 Draped bust dollar. Man, look at that 1795 Draped bust dollar. Small eagle sitting on a cloud. A little bit of friction on the back. Bought this coin raw at Pan also. Draped bust off center VF20. Absolutely delightful. The answer is light cleaning. I know. It's true. I know. I don't want to agree, but I have to agree. It's got a light cleaning. It does. It's still really pretty, but it's a $1795. You got to try it. So, by the way, Anthony, man, I need this if it CACs. Yeah, no, you need this regardless of whether John likes it or not. Let's not all live or die by the sword of Mr. Albanese. The only difference is it's going to be cheaper now. If it's just such a nice looking coin. Bought this raw at Pan, and very, very happy to own it. So I have to agree with that one, but man, that's a tough one. Okay. 1797 Draped bust dollar. Probably has some environmental issues. Again, I had to send it in. We bought it raw. We sent it in, got it graded, came back a 30. Nice looking coin, and gotta love any small eagle. But, not going to cry if this one doesn't sticker. And the answer on this one, pointing at my little eagle beak. Doesn't like the eagle beak. Maybe he got a green sticker and he said, the eagle's really pretty. No, there's just something wrong with this one. What didn't he like on this one? Reverse. Okay, I'm looking. All right, I'm on the reverse. Oh yeah, I don't know. This is like there's some old marks. I'm gonna move this sticker out of the way so we can see. I think there's some old marks or some light tooling or something on there. But let's go in there. What do we see here? Yeah, fine. Mr. Albanese, I agree, I understand, but I don't know. Doesn't prevent me from wanting to own this coin. Spectacular looking coin. Not worthy of a CAC sticker, but still spectacular. So such is life. But these are some fun coins. Listen, we're not getting huge amounts of wins on these, but except for that first one. But here's a 1900 over CC in MS 66 plus. That's a fun coin, right? This one came out of an auction recently that half of the internet was on, and half of the people on this coin. Everyone thought this auction was a secret auction that nobody else knew about. And it turns out every single person on the internet was at this auction. Anyway, I bought this coin. I think it was in an MS66 holder, and I sent it back, and I got a 6 plus. So maybe, did it upgrade and get a sticker? Let's see. This is a nice coin in a 6 plus. Yeah, there we go. That's a big boy coin. Over CC and a 6 plus, now with a sticker. A nice little win. Super, super, super cool. That's a fun little one. Finally, this box gets a little win pile, so that's really great. What do we have next? We have a 26S peace dollar in 66. Beautiful one. This is a big boy coin. This is one of those coins that is a huge upgrade between non-CAC and CAC. In fact, Gray Sheet bid on this coin with a CAC sticker in MS66 is $10,000. So this coin is an insanely valuable coin with a CAC sticker on it. So this would be obviously a tremendously massive win to get a CAC sticker on it, and would pay for the rest of this entire submission if we get the sticker. Did we get a sticker on the MS66 26S? The answer is, oh, yes, we did. That's a lot of money right there. that is a capitalist coin right there that Noah is seeing right here. So yeah, capitalism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Gray Sheet bid just went up 500% for this coin in a 66 with a CAC sticker on it. This is why we play the game. In case you were wondering why we play the game, that is why we play the game. Here's an 11D, strong D. Beautiful. This is the key date of the 1911. I'm still buzzing from the peace dollar. This is the key date from our quarter Indian series, 1911D, strong D. Bought this coin raw, Las Vegas. Same with the Proof Morgan. This came with a group of old coins. This is a little scratchy. Let's see how we did on our 11D, strong D in AU55. Oh, that's awesome. That's another big win. That was great. I was super skeptical when I bought this coin, and I was very conservative. I thought this coin would come back not the grade it did, and certainly not with a CAC sticker on it. So now here we have a 11D, strong D in 55. Here is a 13 quarter eagle in gem. This was a fun coin. This is an eBay snipe. I grabbed this coin in an NGC holder on eBay, and I was just very excited by it because the person who was selling it didn't know what it was, and it was an NGC MS65, and I got it. I was like, that's actually really nice. Actually kind of like that coin. So would be fun if I both crossed it and it stickered, because that will like double up on the win. No big red stickers. Does John like my 13? He does. Oh man, this is a killer little group here. Oh, that was great. That came from an NGC 65 crossed to PC, and now has a CAC sticker on it. I think is another pretty monster win with this coin. And I don't have the numbers on this one, but pretty monster win. Here's your 82S and AU50. So I'm only looking at the back of the coin in the case here. What does it mean when you see a really nice coin and Noah gets excited when he can see the back of the coin from the case here? That can only mean one thing. It's a really nice coin. It's Nick's. Unfortunately, for me, I don't own it, but Nick gets a very, very nice win on his 82S. Ah, look at that. Now, it's, that's a gold CAC on a gold coin with an OGH label. This is just awesome. This is just the kind of stuff you want to see. Look how pretty. Look, it's kind of like the bluish OGH. I mean, look at it from the aesthetic standpoint. Gold, the kind of blue-green. Like, damn, that is just like a monster, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful look to it. Nick, I appreciate that you let me make John think that I have better taste in coins than I actually do. And that is heavenly and a delightful coin. And so it's really, really a special one. And then we have one more coin. And then I don't even remember what our last coin is. So let's look at the last one in this box. This was my 15S Pan Pack. That's a nice coin. Look at this one. Beautiful on this. Look at that. 15S Pan Pack. $2.50. This also came out of the auction that everybody was in. This was in an MS65. I don't like to talk about like the game behind this thing a little bit too much, but got a recon on this one, got a 5+. So very, very happy with that one. Can we sweep this big high-powered sub on the 65+ and make this gold pay back everything from all of my other crappy coins earlier in the sub? The answer is absolutely yes. And now we have a 65+ CAC on a 15S Pan Pack. Man, This is like the opposite day for me. We killed it on the gold, and it was my like seated and standing liberty stuff that did horribly. We got a green on that. We got a gold on that. We got a green on that. We got a green on the 11 strong D. We got a green on the 26S, and we got a green on the 1900 over CC. This was like my high value, high power, all win. We won where it counts, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we like to see. Thank you all for joining tonight. We'll see you again soon. This was fun, and we'll be back for more.